The white guy was furious. He pushed Ben against the wall and said, "You don't belong here, Black." Ben Carter was 11, small for his age with big brown eyes and a calmness that made him seem older than he was. His hoodie was faded, his jeans a little short at the ankles, and his sneakers, while clean, were nothing anyone at Eastbrook Academy would brag about. First day at a new school, new city, new rules. And Ben already felt the weight of it. Eastbrook wasn't like his old school in Philly. This place had polished floors that reflected too much light, walls lined with honor roll plaques, and students who wore backpacks that probably cost more than rent in most neighborhoods. And here came Ben, backpack with one busted zipper, silence in his step, eyes taking everything in but giving nothing away. It took less than an hour for the first whispers to start. "He doesn't talk much, huh? Where's he from, Detroit or something? You see his shoes? Might have been his dad's." Ben heard it all. He didn't flinch, just kept his head down and his answers short. That only made it worse. Kids like Tyler Granger, blonde, rich, quarterback in the making, fed off silence. To them, it wasn't mystery, it was weakness. At lunch, Tyler and his boys made it official. Ben was sitting alone, eating a sandwich his mom packed. No juice box, no dessert, just a sandwich. Tyler walked by with his crew, tray loaded with pizza, chips, and whatever else their parents' money could buy. "Yo," Tyler said loud enough for tables around them to hear. "That your lunch, bro? Where's the rest of it?" Ben looked up. "It's enough." Tyler laughed. "Nah, for real. You need some change or something? We can start a GoFundMe." The table erupted. Ben didn't react, just kept chewing. That annoyed Tyler even more. "Where you from, huh? Some broke part of the city?" Ben looked him in the eye. Calm. "Just moved here," Tyler scoffed. "Yeah, well, Eastbrook's for people with futures, not for charity cases." Ben let the silence hang. Tyler hated that. By the end of the week, the comments had escalated. They'd accidentally bump into Ben in the hall, knock his books down, whisper jokes when he passed. One time, someone wrote EBT boy on the whiteboard in math before class started. The teacher erased it quick, but Ben saw it. Everyone did. Thing is, Ben never cracked, never lashed out, never went crying to a teacher, and that made him even more of a target. Tyler didn't understand it. He was used to people either breaking or fighting back. But Ben just watched. Not scared, not weak, just patient. Then came the Friday. It started like any other day. Ben got up early, ate his cereal quietly while his mom reviewed a case file at the table. She was a public defender, sharp as they come, but low-key about it. His dad? Already gone for the day, court appearance downtown. Ben didn't complain. He liked walking to school. By last period, Tyler had something new cooked up. "Yo, after school," he told his friends loud enough for Ben to hear. "We gonna wait and see what kind of beat-up car picks little man up. I bet it's like a '98 Honda with no hubcaps." Laughter. Ben said nothing, just blinked. One of Tyler's boys leaned over and whispered, "Bet his dad works at a gas station or something." They all cracked up. School let out at 3:15. Ben, as usual, walked through the gates with his hands in his pockets. Tyler and his crew hung back near the flagpole, pretending to wait for their own rides. They watched as car after car pulled up, BMWs, Teslas. One dad even rolled in with a Porsche. Ben stood still, off to the side, alone, watching. Then, at exactly 3:22, a black Range Rover pulled up, clean, tinted, windows down just enough to see the driver. Tyler squinted. "Wait, who's that?" Ben didn't answer, just walked over. The driver got out, and the parking lot froze. 6'3", navy blue suit, fresh cut, gold cufflinks, black man with a walk that said he didn't answer to anybody in that school, or probably the whole city. He rounded the SUV, opened the door for Ben, then reached into the back seat and pulled out a briefcase. His eyes scanned the crowd, cool but sharp, the kind of look that makes grown men second-guess their next sentence. "Hey, son," he said to Ben. "You ready?" Ben nodded. "Yeah, Dad." Tyler's jaw literally dropped. Wait, that was his dad? Mr. Carter gave Ben a quick pat on the back as they climbed into the car, but before closing the door, he paused, slowly turned his head, looked directly at Tyler and his boys. Not with anger, not with hate. Just that quiet, focused kind of stare that adults only give when they know everything. Then he shut the door. The Range Rover pulled off, smooth and slow. But the real shock came Monday morning. Ben walked into school the same way he always did. Hoodie on, backpack slung over one shoulder, quiet. But the energy, different. Whispers followed him again, but not the same kind. This time it was curiosity, confusion, some even nodding at him like he was someone now. Tyler didn't say a word, not at first. Then came third period. The intercom crackled. "Tyler Granger, please report to the principal's office." Ooh. The whole class reacted. Even the teacher looked surprised. 10 minutes later, he came back, pale, quiet, sat down and didn't speak for the rest of class. Later that day, the truth leaked out. Ben's father wasn't just some well-dressed guy in a nice car. He was Christopher Carter, partner at one of the most respected law firms in the state. A man who'd worked civil rights cases, corporate battles, and yes, school board litigation. The same man who had lunch that Friday with Eastbrook's principal and 2 school board members. According to rumors, and every school has its own news network, Mr. Carter had asked some very pointed questions about Eastbrook's student conduct policies, especially around bullying, especially when it came with a racial edge. He wasn't loud. He didn't threaten. But apparently, the man made his point clear. The kind of clear that makes administrators sit straighter in their chairs. By Tuesday, 3 things had changed. Tyler was removed from lunch and recess for a week. A new assembly was scheduled on equity, inclusion, and student respect. Ben Carter? He wasn't invisible anymore. But here's the thing. Ben didn't gloat. He didn't act like he owned the place or seek revenge. He still ate lunch by himself, still wore the same hoodie, still answered questions in class the same soft-spoken way. But now, people looked at him differently. Not just because of his dad, but because he never cracked. Because even when they mocked him, he never let them define him. And that's the kind of strength money can't buy. One afternoon, after math class, Tyler caught up with him. Alone in the hall, no backup, no audience. "Hey," he muttered, eyes on the floor. "Didn't know who your dad was." Ben looked at him. Calm, steady. "Didn't matter." Tyler swallowed hard. "Yeah, I guess it doesn't." Ben nodded once, slung his backpack on, and walked away. He didn't need to win a fight. He didn't need to raise his voice because sometimes the most powerful people in the room are the ones who never had to say a word.